Hello, everybody, and welcome to the University of Idaho's Esports. Tonight we have a lovely game, the first match of the season for the Valorant squad. I am joined by one of my most famous and well-notable co-casters, Kaz. Pleasure to be here.
Pleasure
and yours
to
truly is
accompany you.
the Overlord. Now, we are looking forward to a fascinating start to the season. Do you want to go ahead and explain what's going on?
Yeah, so may have had my observer look over some of the ranks, at least their current ranks. I haven't been able to do proper scouting because ECAC, for some reason, does not force players to have their Riot IDs on their profiles. But from what
It does
I was,
for League of Legends, though.
yeah, and
That's the weird part.
for League and for Battle.net.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that's about. But even so,
Tax exemptions.
from what we were able to see in the lobby, a lot of these players are ranked plat right now. I don't know what their ranks were last season, but I do find that incredibly interesting, and it's something that I'm going to take note of. I don't know if that's just what they place, because, you know, new season, new rank reset, all that fun jazz.
They had 2 plats. They had 2 diamonds.
I think they had... No, I think it was mostly plat. Now, from what Cheese was telling me earlier, their roster was something like 2 Diamond players, 2 Ascendant players, and then Immortal 3, which, that's pretty high, guys. Those of you who don't know, it doesn't work like Valorant. The numbers are ascending. I mean, it doesn't work like Overwatch I was talking about, but the numbers are ascending. That's pretty close to Radiant, guys.
The math isn't mathing.
Here you can see our Valorant team playing in the U Idaho Esports lab in the basement of the Bruce C. Pittman
Cypher,
Center.
We have Phoenix, Jet, and the ever classic Breach.
Well, only 2 people have locked so far. I don't know if this is going to be the comp.
Breach is definitely going to be.
Especially because, oh, it's Haven? Double Smoke's Haven? That could be a strat. Sure.
Cypher is fantastic.
For sure.
Breach is useful on literally every map.
I feel like Cypher finds way more value on Haven than
most
a lot of other
duration
Sentinels, especially KJ, which is like another popular pick on Haven for holding down C site. We have some
Cameron's
playing
just so good along sight.
Controller this time, which I find curious. Diabolic, your classic initiator, playing Sova. Today, David playing Breach, Lofttech playing Jet, and Dohyun on Cypher. Now, the Sentinel Dohyun, I think, is one that we're very used to seeing, especially just having him run around and go lurk.
Especially with the way that he's going to be interacting with David specifically.
And I don't feel like I've seen too much of the duelist Lofttech. But I think maybe some roles have switched around in the offseason. Or maybe, you know, roles have switched around just for, like, how things are being played.
Because David was originally the duelist last semester, and then now he is utility.
Yeah. But it might be interesting to see. In the offseason, I was told that Lofttech was becoming more of the fragger, and I think having him on duelist, I think, obviously, is just going to let him have room to do that. But we probably won't be able to see him shine too quickly. Obviously, we're getting into our first round with the Vandals on defense. In Ohio North University on their offense are already trying to make some noise in lobby. See a little bit of information with Lofttech playing in long alongside Diabolic, but they're going to have to back up.
For those of you in the comments, yes, it is our boy, Dohyun. We love him. He's fantastic. And hopefully the start of the season is strong.
Lofttech is trying to do too many shots, but getting some good damage on. Finishing off that Cypher and some cheese. Getting Xi in long. Oh my goodness. Oh, and you absolutely collapsing on the Vandals. It's just leaving Dohyun here alone, and he's just going to waltz out. He's like, this is a lost fight. I don't really know if it's worth trying. But, you know,
hey, $20
still a valiant effort regardless, I feel. Obviously, we're going to be going into our second round.
I think,
and obviously having Lofttech by the
general lack of accuracy that first rounders would cause their team to fall apart so fast. Lofttech running out on his magazine from too many missed shots was just the nail that sealed the coffin.
Yeah, I mean, either team got a little eager. I'm just not exactly sure you know, what they could have done better. Pistol round is always hard to judge because the push and pull of pistol doesn't become truly important, I feel, until second round. We can talk about that a little bit later, for sure. But right now we have ONU trying to make an execute on C, have Jet getting hit by that tripwire and just holding it. Now Ixie and Monkey do find picks of their own. Dohyun does find his one, but is traded out by Ixie, and it's leaving
that leaves
LoftTech
in a 1v4 with Spike.
With the Sheriff, no light shield. And
They must have heard that.
Retake. Heard the updraft. Is able to get that pick on Ixie, but is going to get flanked by Monkey.
Behind.
Jumping out a window to finish that off. To put some more points on the board for ONU. Now, obviously, those last few rounds aren't as important as we get into this third round. I think that's when things start to become a little bit more telling. Obviously, we're going to be on our full buys, or as full as possible. Dohyun did buy last round, which is not a great
right now.
Not a great idea for those of you who don't play Sentinel. Cypher's util is pretty expensive, and when you're buying Sheriff and Light Shield on second round after losing first, and you lose second round, like you're just throwing money away. But who knows? Maybe something different can be made out of this round, which is already happening pretty fast. David finding three.
Is it going to be
LoftTech, I believe, finding one of his own, and Diabolic finding that other.
Spend his money. He can just go ahead and take other people's stuff.
A flawless round to finally get the Vandals on the board for this half.
But also,
now I put it off for a couple rounds, but I would like to let production know that stream says that there is no game audio. I don't know why that is, but I'm sure that we can figure that out. Oh, okay. So I was told that that issue was fixed. So
now we're gonna see some really interesting stuff. This next round, if ONU Esports loses this round, they're gonna have no economy for probably the next 2 rounds to be able to do anything with.
That's true.
And that'll give the Vandals the little bit of an edge they need to get back into the leaderboard.
A little bit of a snowball, which I know that the Vandals are good at taking. Once they find those areas of collapse, they're pretty good about just going for it. Now, see some of ONU trying to walk into window, that smoke going down, and letting some cheese get a little bit of a peek through, just waiting for someone to peek up further enough. And Monkey falling to some cheese, getting traded out by Trusted Caden.
He almost got both.
Didn't get quite. Oh no! Actually, wait. Yes, did get quite a bit of damage on to Caden. And that if that breach falls, you know, that's a little bit of entry util that
all
ONU
of their
is
util
not
gone,
going to have.
pretty much. All you'll have left is Sova Recon Arrow. And you might not even have that left.
Yeah, Diabolic getting pulled out of
whip.
trying to find that lineup. Taking a little bit of damage from Newt and B main. I think they're just not going to push that. Instead, just going to go back out, go through garage. It seems like we're going to find that C end with Spike now planted in some of ONU.
Mex went ahead and got a wall bang on Dohyun there.
Oh, that's a little rough. He's not having that cam on site. Caden is looking around. Here's something. Not exactly sure where it is. Most of the Vandals are lurking in the CT area. It's hard to say how this is going to play out. Obviously, you have more of ONU on site, but yeah, you swing out, you get killed like that. David found one, Diabolic found one, but the rest of ONU is playing long. They're going to be able to escape the detonation, while Diabolic isn't going to have to go back to spawn. Which, I mean, this is kind of how you play it. You know, when you plant right there, you can just play for long. If someone taps Spike, you swing out, you shoot him, they're dead. Or they can just use whatever, you know, util they have to push you off Spike or whatever. So in a situation like that, it's definitely more beneficial for yourself.
On the safer side.
Yeah, to play on the safer side, to just save. The chances of you winning a round like that are incredibly low. Unless if you have the util to flush them out yourself and get those picks.
I see.
But anyways, going into round 5. First map here between the Vandals and ONU. LoftTech getting that first
Mex so quickly.
That's going to be a little bit of entry gone for ONU. Obviously won't be able to kind of waltz in as quick, but they still have that breach alive.
Because that does prevent the set ults and run into place. And
Note
they are
is
gonna take
asleep
down
at
Newt
the
as
wheel.
well.
Some cheese taking him out at B main. Almost thought he wasn't going to be getting. He looked like he was sweeping the floor.
I mean,
worked
I get
out.
it. It's a long day. Going home and starting to relax. He's not in the mindset. He's not in the grind set, folks.
But it's already 2 down of ONU. It's going to make it way harder to find
Did they
this
hear that?
entry. That Sentinel util to look for flanks or anything. Good thing that the Vandals aren't doing that this round, but even then, could still not be a great situation for them.
Drop in a smoke.
Well, regardless of which, Onu is starting to push forward ever so slightly. The Vandal's just waiting for them to approach. It seems like Dohyun's
30
like
seconds
everyone's
left.
saying like Dohyun's on C, he's got this, and the rest of them are just hovering in between B and A specifically.
Now, you also have David on that breach there, holding CT with that charge, trying to flush people
Okay.
out of sewer. Lots of trades going on back and forth, but David is going to find that last kill, finish
Solid.
off the round, and put another point on the board for the Vandals.
Solid 2-3.
Absolutely.
Both of their economies are starting to get to the point where they can take a round of punishment, but soon that is not going to last.
Which is always kind of tricky. You know, it's been a little bit of a back and forth between ONU and
A loft classic.
yeah. Also would like to point out our main executive producer for broadcast, seeing ZG Fenrir on the player cams there. I don't know if he knows that he is in cam, but he is.
Get out!
Also would like to shout out Shadowy Figure for that gifted subscriber. Your support means the world to us. Thank you for the gifted.
We
To
appreciate
Mbats,
you, my
or
man.
Mr. Bats.
You are absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. No, it's going to try and
Okay.
insert with Kunai.
Does
Does miss
not get
pretty
the
much
kill.
every shot. That shock dart is going to get a little bit of damage on the Dohyun.
The only
But Ixie is
reason-
basically escaping with an inch of his life. Oh, never mind.
The
Not
only
an
reason Max was able to win that at all was the fact that the utility got thrown out.
I never left.
Hey, can we see what the cheese is going to do about this? They are going to take down Monkey.
It's true. They are going to have to leave site, though. I think they're just going to let Clove play out their ult. They're going to die anyway. Oh, wait, no, they got to pick.
Yeah,
Sorry, I'm
took
stupid.
down Omen.
I was not paying attention. But, you know, you already have ONU playing for long. That shock dart taking out Newt.
All they need
David
to do is-
taking out
Oh,
Kaden.
No.
Is not able to pick the spike.
So
Seeing that
ultimate
Hunter's Fury
coming
come out very soon. The Loftek or is going to be able to finish
It
out Sova and
didn't
let
even
Cheese get that finish.
matter.
That's great. Which is really interesting instance to pop that ult there. Hunter's Fury can be used in post-plant situations like that, and I guess in most situations, an ult used is better than an ult saved.
I mean, I honestly respect the attempt. What I wasn't expecting is how quickly they were going in to pursue the Sova ults, with especially how skinny C Long is.
But you know what? I actually really like that play. That was a smart play. The reason being is obviously Sova is going to play out, so they're not playing exposed on that ult. But obviously
we
with
have
that
Rachel
ult still
ready.
out, it's going to allow Loftek to have that room to push up long, get that pick, and just leave. And that's pretty much exactly what happened. They just got the pick and left.
Skrills_1L. We love the Vandals. We absolutely do. I might be slightly biased considering we are one, but never said we couldn't be.
Oh,
that is not
beautiful!
Oh,
Finally,
my lord.
Exo falling along with Caden Newton Monkey.
Spike planted.
It's going to leave Mr. Cat awesome.
Dohyun
Get that
dropping
spike
a
down and
3K,
immediately falling to Dohyun.
taking all the victory he deserves for that.
Which is,
And
it's
on
gonna
some
be
keys
a
get the
little bit
defense
of a
bonus.
rough round loss for ONU. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be pretty rough. That econ was hanging on by a thread, and only one loss was gonna be enough to topple it over. I'm just kidding. That was their eco round. I knew that.
There was a reason they were not fighting back.
Yeah, I was like,
Or at
"Oh."
least not that hard.
But the Vandals were able to get that point on the board. Shout out Deadlock. Love Deadlock. But it is still kind of an interesting situation to watch with the score. Obviously, the rounds have been very back and forth. It's not very clear to tell who is having a more dominant performance. We do see, however, that the Vandals have the better economy in this situation.
And the ults are starting to pile up.
That is true.
What Onu has over. And it looks like Rachel is coming out from Onu Esports.
Beautiful
And Maz gets taken down.
pick up. The jet from Ixie. Going to see that Hunter's Fury coming out from Diabolic as well. David finding that third on Monkey.
All that's left
And you doesn't even get the spike down Newt's left, trying to lurk for an exit frag. That's awful.
That is not going to be allowed to happen.
Yeah, you see David trying to push up here, seeing if they can ego this, seeing if they're playing in grass at all. No one has actually posted Garage right now.
Don't you test that theory, Shadow Figure. Don't you. We know your diabolical plans.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, that's kind of already around for the books.
He's just hiding where he can, and the Vandals are just waiting it out.
And obviously, like, there's still plenty of time on the scoreboard, which is why the Vandals aren't trying to ego this, trying to run around, you know, and just flush him out wherever he is. You don't want to give him free picks.
Yep.
You don't want to give him any further opportunities to find success in an already pretty much
because even if he gets like a trade or two, that'll make his life worth much more than if he just Also, shout out Sentinels of Light Vandal. Love that Vandal. I had that Vandal myself. It's one of my favorite guns ever. Newt does hear Dohyun B-hopping through Garage, but he's already long gone. And he's going to try and walk it out, I think.
And yeah, that's going to be another round for ONU. Vandals taking that lead even further, pretty much confirming it. And
if he had aimed just slightly slower, it would have been perfect. He would have taken two of them down, and his teammates would have been like, yo, he's cracked.
Even then, that's not what the Vandal, or that's not what the Phantom's for. 140 headshot from a distance like that, like, you're going to get the headshot, and you're going to be like, what do you mean they're not dead? And then you're going to get one taps. Unless if you're playing on LAN, and you're Asuna. Those who know. Asuna. That was quite a game to watch.
You cannot stop talking about Asuna's performance lately.
Dude, I'm just still like so distraught from that game. It was truly a series to behold, but doesn't matter. We're focused on this series.
Is that three smokes on top of each other?
We already saw that Sova fall.
I think that's three smokes on top of each other.
Yeah, I mean the cage is there just to see if anybody taps it, but I don't think the Yuto usage was pretty coordinated, which is fine. Clove is actually allowed to use their smokes a little more recklessly because they recharge.
That is true.
That's true. Yeah.
It is a fairly lengthy recharge, but it's better than no recharge at all.
For sure.
Oh, that's not good.
Oh!
Unless if he just takes it.
You know what?
Down mid.
I respect it. Some Cheese was able to get that first pick and the second one on Kaden.
They did not use the
tried to retop, which I think that was fair. Dohyun is holding that corner, doesn't know that Ixie's holding far left, but is immediately going to get traded out by Loftek.
Loftek goes ahead and takes down their imposter counterpart. Currently 6-3. The first two rounds were not an indicator of how this was going to go.
No, and pistol round never is. That's never how that's really supposed to go.
And if I recall...
No, second round, maybe it's a little bit more important. I think in some situations... Just a round of second half can be a big tell of how a team might play, how things are shaping out in the rest of the map. Anything can happen. I almost took back a game from 11-1. We don't have to talk about
sweep.
Well, no,
sweep.
It's fine. It's just not important for the stream right now. Now, Monkey, you see kind of holding the lobby area. You have Loftek lurking up very deep, waiting to find someone who's going to peek this, and it's not sure who is. Might get cleared here, too.
You're so right, Shadow Figure.
They're kind of playing on an off angle,
Triple
obviously.
Smoke is just meta for realsies. Oh, that might be Loftek.
Oh! Even while distorted still gets those. Gets another.
What the heck?
Gets the smoke down. Doesn't get another.
And
that's going to be a gun
his fair share of
for Kaden. Did he already have a gun? I don't even know. But while blinded, yeah, some cheese is going to take out Ixie. You still have those breach flashes coming up out of long view. Some cheese seeing them for a pixel. Wait a minute. I'm lost. Does Cage not reveal like the body anymore, or what's up with that?
It's only sound cue.
Really?
Yeah, that's how it's been for a very long time.
Wait, I didn't know Cypher got reworked. Hello?
He got reworked the last time I actually played Valorant, and that was a while ago.
Oh, damn. Oh, yes. No, I remember now. I don't remember that change in particular.
But for Cypher, make it so they just get the outlines of people inside your smokes. Easy.
Which I guess makes sense. Power, budget
no.
things, or what? Well, that's what the trip is for. No, if you put a trip in the cage.
I was just meaning
and they walk through the
I was just
trip.
meaning Cage itself doing that. Like if they just put in a tiny pinky toe, you just see their entire outline.
Oh, well, that's true.
Get out of my way.
If that happened, Cypher would instantly be picked every single game.
Which he used to be. We had a lot of not good Cypher players in my games.
Hey.
Now,
they're
that
trying
was
their
also
best.
when I was in bronze.
Go.
So.
Go. Get him.
But anyways, yeah, you see ONU trying to go for a very quick entry onto C. Gonna see Ixie dashing through that tripwire.
Goes ahead and takes
Taken
a
out by
double on the way
Dokyun,
out.
finding a second. Kaden finding that trade with the C clear. ONU's not able to get the spike down. Somcheese and Lofttech
C.
inching off the numbers for ONU, and now it's just Monkey here. I feel weird saying that.
You think you feel weird? That's the same name
Why
my
like not?
brother has, but I guarantee you he's not on their team.
David finding the last pick, finding another point for the Vandals in a just truly
Last
confirming
round
their
before the
dominance in this half so far.
Yeah, they just keep having to do eco round after eco round because they don't have the money to keep up. Meanwhile, the Vandals are almost maxing out on some people, except Dohyun because, oh my lord, his gadgets are expensive.
Yeah,
Why are they so expensive?
Sentinels. All
Yeah,
their
you're not
utils
wrong.
expensive actually. It's
And they
tragic.
kind of have to be.
Yeah.
They're just that good.
Right there.
But even
That's
then,
a
obviously, you're
beautiful
going to have ONU buying weapons this round. It's all or nothing last round of the half. Last round to start some kind of fire.
Hear me out. 10 Odins. Simple.
Don't know about that. Gonna see the Fireball taking some shots, getting a little bit of info.
Oh, that's not going to be great.
Yeah, XC already saw Lofttech there. I don't know if he knew
that was
he was
that was a
seeing.
rather aggressive place to be in.
Obviously, with the visual clutter as well, it could have been a little hard.
There's
But now
the
we're going to see
Silver Recon
Diabolic's
drone.
own Recon Bolt come out. Ping Monkey in Sewer, take a little bit of damage from that shock dart. Ixie somehow not dying,
They did die.
taking out David and finally falling to Diabolic. Leaving ONU in a kind of strange spot, mostly playing out of Sewer. Can't really push this. The spike is still in the back of their conga line there. Might just find a rotate. Or not. Well, I guess we're just going to lobby. That's, oh, yeah. That's good too, man. Dohyun gonna
There's the
pop
ultimate.
that ult. See a couple positions. Mostly
30
everybody's
seconds
in
left.
Sewer, and ONU is going to try and bait that out, try and go for the rotate, making sure we're not over-rotating. Obviously, seeing Diabolic come back through CT. Trying to hold a lineup here.
Ahead.
Is it going to find anything? No.
Yes, they will.
Oh, wow. It finds a couple
Spike
things,
down
actually.
A.
Dohyun finding 2 off that recon there.
10
Nudes
seconds left.
holding
Trying to go for the flank,
CT.
does
Can't
not
hit his
work out.
shot. Somcheese taking him out, and Dohyun finding the last pick to finish out the half for the Vandals.
Dohyun has
9-3
already
now.
gotten 3 triples.
3K God.
Yeah.
What
He
is there to say about it?
He has triples.
That man can find
He's
3Ks
got those
like
triple
Textures
triples.
can find 4.
All they need
Absolutely
is
splendid
4 more
display.
rounds, and they can do that. Especially that they're attacker-sided, which, if you guys don't know, this map is so attacker-sided.
I'm pretty sure.
That goes there.
Well, I mean, on a
There's
site
3
with
diff-
3 sites, or on a map with 3 sites, I think it's more site dependent than anything. I think C is definitely a little bit defender sided.
Well, yeah, but that's 'cause there's
But
only
it
the
is.
one
It just
real
instantly
path.
becomes offensive sided when you plant for long,
Cage trigger.
and it kind of sucks. This map has not been changed since beta, actually. I'm pretty sure.
But to be fair, if they changed it now, they'd be changing one of their most iconic stable maps in the entirety of the history of that.
Tripwire destroyed.
Even then,
trigger.
like, screw a staple. I do get a little tired of seeing the exact same things done on this map for like 3 years. But if it works, it works.
Spike down,
Kaden finding a pick off of Diabolic, some cheese, and Lofttech finding trades, inching
Spike
off some
planted.
numbers off of O and U. And they're going to get that spike down, mostly stay on site, causing a lot of pressure.
Now all they have to do is keep the rest of Onu off of it for a couple more seconds, and by that I mean like 30, and
That-
they will be golden.
That was a beautiful
Yeah, he got that
One
right out of
enemy
the midair.
shot on that sonar.
Oh
As
my.
soon as it hit the wall, it jumps down, finishes him off.
Tech following
Except he
Dokyu's
didn't finish him
example
off.
and
Loft Tech
getting
was
a
behind him.
triple. It just triples after triples. I think they're all trying to top frag this match.
3 is the number to pay attention to, apparently.
Some cheese is like, yeah, we made Loft Tech our duelist. But watch this drive.
Some cheese, I feel like, is still the one of the strongest players on the team.
He's currently the unsung
in
hero.
terms
He's making
of
the
mechanics,
quiet
in terms of
plays.
frags. So in a weird way, it's not too surprising to see him at the top of the leaderboard as a controller. I don't know. Again, duelists don't get a lot of time to shine until their attacker side rounds. You see Loft Tech getting that first pick on Ixie. Immediately going for that rotate. The Vandals are like, yeah, they're pushing up pretty far. Sumchi's also taking out Newt. And Trusted Caden, who is playing towards a link. I think it's going to allow them to get the spike down. Going for that fake plant. Monkey doesn't know that Diabolic is holding that angle.
had him
Probably asking himself, what kind of angle is that? And I'm asking myself the same question.
duel. And
Mr. Cat is going to
also
win that.
wins. But Dokyun, like the mad lad he is, goes ahead and cleans it up yet again.
I gotta say, it's been quite a great performance from the Vandals so far. And when you're leaving a round with a lead that why can't I think of the word? When you're leaving a half with a lead that's dominant, you know, it's becomes a lot more tense for the enemy team. Every single round matters up until that point, because even one round after that, you know, they are obviously way closer to winning the entire game than you are. So it kind of depends.
Really?
My ultimate isn't
Ixie
ready.
does take out some cheese
But Dokyun takes them down in
for a
exchange.
trade. I didn't know some cheese
Oh.
was playing on C. I guess I'm
Monkey
blind. I'm
is
not paying
almost
attention.
down.
It's fine. Doesn't even matter. Yeah, Vandal's kind of walking it up through grass. Monkey hearing a lot of noises and seeing if they're going to ego. Dokyun does see them and not going to let him get away with the help of Loft Tech taking him down. David finding Caden as well, so that flush util is gone.
One
Loft Tech was
enemy
at 10
remaining.
health, so it's obviously going to get picked off by Mr. Cat Awesome there. Diabolic does find a trade and is going to leave Newt alone once again. How many times have I
Spike
seen
planted.
this story before? Newt in a 1v3 retake. Playing with
That
an
just
outlaw.
doesn't sound right.
That sonar isn't going to find anything. So we're going to try and walk it up, see if it can find anything in Dokyun.
Beating the Marshal in ranged combat.
That's an outlaw.
Outlaw.
Matt-
Oh,
But even then, I mean,
either way, it's
that's
just
rough.
got sniped by a pistol.
I'm hoping ONU is able to take at least one round, but seeing as, you know, we're pulling out Guardians, we're on our absolutely last leg here with ONU. It doesn't really matter how things turn out. I think their econ's going to be bad for a couple rounds if they do take a round. And it's just going to be a really bad look if they lose 13-3 right here. So, I don't know.
Please hope for their success.
Yeah, of
they
course.
Need
I
the-
would
they need
prefer
the
a little bit more even competition. That's all I'm saying.
Hey,
Now, Mr.
worst
Cat Awesome
dreams
does
for
take out
content
Loft
for
Tech,
us.
escaping with an inch of his life. Once again, Ixie is holding that off angle, but Dohyun is ready for it.
They're trying to do a lot of cheese struts, though. It's not working out in their favor.
No, not really.
Onu-
Oh, speaking of
Onu
cheese,
corner camping,
Yeah.
doing crate
playing on off
cheese.
angles, which usually is in some way how you would want to play certain matchups, but I just don't like the way that ONU is really playing it. And I don't think they do either, seeing that they're
Yikes.
12-3. You see that Hunter's Fury coming out, and Monkey finding a very nice, too.
Spike planted.
Gonna be a little bit util out for the Vandals, but still have that spike down. Still have something to play around. That shock dart isn't gonna hit Monkey, but is gonna get detected by sonar.
Last player standing.
Newt taking out Diabolic. It's just a 1v2.
Can David
Mr.
clutch
Cat
this?
Awesome is literally one shot. Newt dropped. He's gonna spray. Doesn't know
There's
where he
one.
is, Mr. Cat.
He went.
Boom!
Oh my lord, David. Are you cracked or not? What just happened?
I wasn't exactly sure how that was gonna turn out, but it seems like it worked.
I didn't think his swing around was gonna be fast enough.
Well, I mean, I feel like you have a lot more time when you think when your opponent's at 5 health.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah, I mean, like, either they found a one-tap there, or it was just like, boom, they shoot. It doesn't even matter. An excellently played map 1 from the Vandals. They're
Some
13-3
cheese
first map.
Popping off.
What even is that?
That is what we call domination. And it looks like we are going to be swapping from attackers to starting as defenders.
Yeah.
Wait, no, didn't we start as defenders?
Yes, we did. So,
then it looks like
the
we're
swap
swapping
isn't
back.
happening, or we don't know what the swap is just yet. Obviously, ONU is getting some of their subs in from what I saw in the chat. But even then, that first map, I think, was quite a sight to behold. I think I saw quite a dominant performance from some cheese, which shouts out controller players. Saw Lofttech debut on the Duelist and have a pretty strong performance, but once again, I mean, I feel like I mention this every single time I cast for this team, but Dohyun is crazy.
Yeah. And this is the thing. He isn't even being put onto a carry-like role.
No,
he
he's
is
like
running
Sentinel.
information gathering and Sentinel.
And he's
If
just
he
like,
wanted to play a Duelist, imagine what he could do as Reyna.
I think something that's so interesting about Cypher as a character, Cypher's kit, and, you know, how that meshes with Dohyun as well is I feel like Cypher has just, like, a lot of inherent personality. Like, obviously, like, you know, his whole kit is, like, very serious about finding all of that intel and whatnot, but even then, I feel like there's a lot of silly things that you can do with Cypher and Cypher's kit. I feel like that plays very well into Dohyun when you see the way he plays.
Because Dohyun likes to be sure of his next move, and then he just plays so calculated.
Exactly. Like, it's like,
And if there's anybody to do that,
it works
it's
when he's
Cypher.
lurking. It works when he's fragging. It doesn't really matter. It just shows Dohyun is a very versatile player.
You know, he knows how he likes to play. He knows how to achieve it, and the team has clearly picked up on that facet.
Absolutely. And I mean, I
That
wish
is kind
there
of the
was
key.
anything more positive that I can say about ONU. But you guys make it really hard for me. You know, you gotta win,
They're sweating up a
or
couple
at least
characters.
you gotta lose a little bit
I will say this.
harder than 13-3.
I like the more aggressive way that Onu plays, but that's because I'm impatient.
That's fair.
And sometimes playing that unorthodox, we're going highly aggressive, we're going high octane, can provide an advantage in some degrees, but the Vandals are just ready for it. They see the impatience, they see how quickly they're moving, and they're like,
I think that's
smoke cloud, smoke cloud, smoke cloud. Have another smoke cloud.
Exactly, and just like, you know what? Yeah, it's. I feel like their useful coordination is really good, but I also think something else that's important to note is that the team in general, the Vandals, I feel like something that they've become better at over time as they've played together is kind of figuring out how to match a team's tempo. So if a team wants to play around really fast or really slow, the Vandals are going to be able to keep pace almost any time. I guess that's really
good at
easy to say,
adaptation.
seeing the way that ONU played it this map. But I mean, even in previous performances, even
during
in
the
scrimmages
that we
that
had
I've
the other
seen,
day, yeah.
they're very good. Even if they do drop rounds, they're very good about keeping that tempo. And I think that's something that allows them to find a lot of success. For those of you who don't know, it was a similar situation against Loyola Marymount for CVAL over Saturday. Those games aren't getting streamed yet, but I'll just tell you about them as I find out. But, I mean... Yeah.
I mean, you'll have the information for them
Yeah.
eventually.
But I mean...
regardless of which, it helps
It's just-
show that there's so much practice and time and effort put into these, and it's starting to work out in their favor.
so
which just
interesting
shows
to watch. For
that
sure.
their efforts are being paid off. Yeah, we
Yeah,
saw.
they did.
For those who weren't paying
ONU did
attention,
swap
they
out, I
swapped
think,
to a completely different team.
the whole team. actually. I don't think there's a single person who was there last map. Now, I only
Not a single
remember
one.
one of these people, and that's Flames, and that's because they were on the VLR roster that I saw. I don't know anything about them, though. Would like to take note to the Vandals cop while I'm looking at it, since they're fully locked. You have Diabolic swapping roles with Some Cheese and hopping on Omen. Have it David on Breach once again. Loft Tech pulling out the Rays, as you do. This is a Rays map. Dohyun once again playing that Cypher. And Some Cheese playing Tejo. Now, I don't know if you guys were watching kickoffs these last couple weekends, but Breach Tejo is quite an initiator comp.
You're not allowed to play the game against those two.
No, because
it'll
you
be
get
fun
flushed
to see
out by
what
the
they're
Breach
able to do.
util and then punished by the Tejo util. It's
His
nice to
DOT is
see, but it's
so
also
nasty.
just like, oh god, it's so devastating to watch. And with ONU, do you have the Rays, Clove, Cypher, Sky, and I think that's a Jet? I can't see. It is a Jet. So double duelist on split for ONU as opposed to double initiator. Which I think, especially with the initiators that the Vandals chose, I'm much more confident in that comp. The sites I feel like are pretty much built around those two very well, and I don't know if I've seen Some Cheese's Tejo yet, but I feel like Some Cheese is very versatile. That whole team just DC'd.
What just happened?
So we also just lost 5 viewers. Something to note.
Did we?
No, I'm just kidding. But their whole team just DC'd.
That'd be crazy if they all got
So now we got a
stream
tech
sniping.
pause.
Hopefully we can. No, that's not even a tech pause. The match is still going.
Well, no, wait. They should restart. Do they not? Did they not see the chat where everybody DC'd?
Man, this is the easiest defense run I've had in my life. Nobody's even coming for the point.
Exactly. Time him out. Time him out.
I wish this was my games.
Might as well be my games. I am in bronze after all. Clap, clap.
Some Cheese also disconnected.
They're
Loft
running
Tech
around
goes
and
ahead and
knifing
takes
people.
down Proud Cat owner. Is he gonna just try and go through the entirety and just wipe out everyone?
Yeah, I
running?
think Some Cheese just left.
And
I
there's
think
Dozier.
everybody just DC'd and he's like, I'm not going to play the game right now, so we're just going to leave. Also would like to point out, hello, Stupid Zombie. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the stream. Hope you've been enjoying so far. That splendid map one that was. This is a former Varsity Valorant player
Dohyun
for the
was taking
Vandals.
all of the
10
attention.
seconds left.
Dohyun with an Odin is certainly a sight. I've seen it. I don't feel like it comes out often, but when he gets into a mood, he pulls out the Odin, and he's just like an entirely different creature. Because he'll just run around. Either he's lurking or he's just running straight into their spawn. And he's actually getting kills.
And to be fair, they definitely had enough of a point lead where they could do that for 3 rounds in a row and still not be worried. And if you're at that position, why not have fun with it?
But
Like,
even then,
seriously.
like I think map 1 of the series, first series of the season so far, I wouldn't be surprised if the Vandals actually just wanted to take things a little more seriously this round. They're like, I don't want to like
start off goofy. Especially
Yeah.
since there's a new comp.
Especially
new
because
players.
from what I was told by Cheese, you know, they were feeling confident, but he also seemed a little bit hesitant as well. Like, you know, I'm sure he thought it could go either way, and I think
Especially since it's the first map of the season, this kind of dictates how the start off for everything goes, and it can make an impact on the player's mentality and the momentum that can be generated moving forward.
Yeah. But in the meantime, not exactly sure what we're going to be doing while we're waiting for this team to come back out of whatever void they just fell into.
Rambles.
I
mean, that is kind of
what's kind of going on? Challengers is being streamed right now. I know we have a person in the lab who's into YFP, who's playing, was playing a pretty bad map on Pearl, if I remember correctly. So hopefully they were able to turn that around.
Sure. I mean, we really just have to wait for the people to be ready. Is there anything you took of note or anything you want to talk about for the previous game?
I mean, not in particularly, especially
mean, we
with
kinda said all
ONU
of
pretty
it.
much swapping out their entire roster.
Because it's not like
I have to
predictions based
cast
on
a new team
performance
again.
anymore.
It's
Yeah.
like we're going back to map 1.
All expectations are
Off
pretty
the
much
table.
removed.
Yeah.
The only thing we know is we have a point, and now everything is different.
That's true.
Oh no!
Well, you know what I
man,
am
the
going to
myth,
do
legend.
with all this downtime? Ad reads. I'm going to see how fast I can. Well, no, I don't have to do this fast, but I would like to do it anyway. Obviously, would like to give grace to our amazing sponsors and you guys who support us. So, if you aren't already following, please feel free to follow the Idaho Esports Twitch channel. It is free.
You can
And if you
subscribe
hate
for
us
free
or
as well
something,
if you have an Amazon
you can
Prime account.
turn off the notifications if you hate us. I don't know why you would do that, but you can. We just like seeing the silly number go up. We're 20 followers away from 700, guys. I think that's
and that'd
pretty
be
cool.
a brand new record.
And we'd love to have you a part of that. If you have $6 lying around or you have a free Prime sub, feel free to subscribe. Get a fun badge next to your name, some emotes, and
Oh, that would
okay.
explain it.
Let me finish the ad read while I've started
we'll
it, and then I will
afterwards.
explain the information I was received. So, if you have $6 lying around, or if you have a Prime sub, feel free to subscribe to the Idaho Esports Twitch channel. You get a fun badge next to your name, some fun emotes, and you get to help support a grassroots collegiate esports community, which I think is pretty cool. If you want to talk to us or meet more fans of your favorite esports titles, whether you're a student at the University of Idaho or a guest from a school that we're playing, feel free to join the Discord server, which should be linked down below. I think that's actually a link that we have down there, and some link tree with all of our other social medias, including our YouTube, which we should be simulcasting to tonight. I think. I don't know.
For the JV, yeah.
Our Twitter, our Instagram, and all that other fun stuff.
We have a bunch of socials. If you guys are interested, we send out notifications regularly. We always appreciate all of you guys coming by to watch us. But yeah, if you guys have the will, the motivation, and the time, we appreciate anything you do to help support our program.
Yeah.
Shall we explain what happened?
Nope. I still got 2 more to do. Okay. Well, I'm just going to skip over the sponsors. We just got the plugs done. That's fine. So all of the entire city that ONU is based in, which I don't know which city in Ohio it is. Someplace in northern Ohio. Completely lost power.
The entirety of the city.
The entire city, I was told.
You think some shenanigans
which
are
that is
there.
a catastrophic scenario. We lose map 1, or we win map 1 13-3. They entirely swap out their roster thinking we're going to play better, and then that's not a situation that you can plan for. I feel that's devastating. I apologize to anyone from ONU who was in stream watching.
You know what the best part about this is? I can only imagine what's going through there. It's locals on the scene see that the entirety of ONU has lost their power. Now, foul play is suspected, and there currently is one school that is currently interacting with ONU. So, suspicion upon them about the entirety of the infrastructure for Ohio.
Of course. No, it's really interesting. I don't know where ONU is. Actually, I'm going to take this
Northern
time
Ohio.
to find out. I know Ohio State is in Columbus, and that is about it. That does not help.
Go to map.
Ada. I have never heard of Ada, but I had a family member actually who went to Ohio State, so maybe they've heard of Ada. I certainly have not. So apparently the entire city of Ada is out of power. I don't know if that means that they're going to have to forfeit the match. I don't know if that means that they're going to
I would assume it'd be based off how long it takes for them to do it, because...
Oh, that's
some
great. So the
some
city is
immediate
split
efforts are
between 2 different power
immediately-
companies. That's like Moscow.
So some power has been restored to some of them. The other half are currently waiting for the rest of the experts to take care of circumstances.
True.
From what I'm aware, rescheduling after the matches start is not exactly allowed.
No, so
and
I think they're just going to wait to figure things out.
I think it's going to be based off of time. If it takes like 5 minutes, I don't think we'll have an issue. But much past that, the rule books will decide.
Now, no matter which power company that you are under, all scummy, all the same,
You
could
need
it
good
still
internet
be energied?
That would
Well,
make more
it's hard to
sense.
use the internet if you don't have power.
Yeah, that is fair.
That is something to know. But you
I
can't keep
ruined
yourself
it.
energized with the help of Monster Energy, one of the Vandal esports program's lovely beverage sponsors. We thank you so much for sponsoring. I think I'm going to take this time
Do
to
we have
like
the
awkwardly
promotional can?
talk about Monster. Do we have an ad?
We
Do we have a video to run?
we should have the can. We had it stored here the other day.
Is it still here? We get to talk about it later. I can just tell you about it verbally.
We just need 20 seconds.
In
It's
which
cool.
situation?
You
Oh no,
mean-
we have it. It's like behind the monitor for some reason.
We have a secret.
Well, it's not
soon-
really secret if you're showing it on
Okay,
cam.
sorry. We have yet
And
to be
and
released monster
Yeah.
flavor of Viking Berry. We have first dibs until this comes out later. I want
In
to say the
February.
beginning of February.
Although I'm not exactly sure how this has been holding up. We've had this for a few months, and we
It's
were
been
told we aren't supposed to open it until February, I'm pretty sure. Or something like that. So I'm just hoping it's not going to be
That-
flat by the time we
That
actually
is not
drink
what
it
I
and do
have been
taste
told.
tests. Oh. Well,
But
I don't know what we're doing
You
with
are
that.
kind of technically my boss, so I won't. Nobody.
Well, I don't
have
know.
been drinking it, but
We'll
but
find about that
regardless,
later.
Monster
I will
has
say, though,
fantastic products. We love the taste. New flavors are coming out, and highly recommend, highly recommend getting some. This stuff is great, and if you're anything like us, we can take all the energy we need.
I don't know. Sometimes I need a little pick-me-up. I can't even lie to you. I'm feeling pretty good right now, though. I'm feeling pretty good, considering. I will say, though, for those of you who are fans of Monster, specifically the Juice Monster, this flavor is replacing the Aussie Lemonade flavor. So, rest in peace. I actually like that flavor a lot. It was the only juice flavor I liked.
I know Shadow Figures also kind of said that Aussie Lemonade.
Yeah,
is
I was
going
telling
away
him
with the
about it
dinosaur.
during media day, and he was like, "That's yeah, I was sad to hear." They're also canceling, I think, the Java flavors this year,
Are they?
in replace for another like coffee
Secret
kind of
one
thing
that's
that
gonna
they
be
were
coming out
already
later.
doing. I follow food TikTokers who talk about current events in the food world, which doesn't really matter to me. It is kind of curious, though. It has been kind of interesting to watch and follow as new things come out. I got to find out when the Starburst sparkling ice flavors came out. I don't know if any of you guys tried that, but they were crazy. It was weird. It was a drink that just tasted exactly like a Starburst, back down to the chemically flavor of the wrapper or what else they put in Starburst. It was very fun, but I loved it a lot.
So the way you're insinuating this is, when you have a Starburst, you eat the wrapper.
No.
You said
But you know,
tastes
it feels like there's like
Starburst
the
wrapper
the
and
wax
all of
on the
chemical-
wrapper. It feels like the wax on the wrapper like stays in the Starburst, and you know it's a part of the taste. It's.
I don't think that's how that's supposed to taste. Oh, yikes. That is not great information, folks. We have been told that while we had some of them in the lobby for a moment of time, all of them are gone. More foul play has been suspected, folks.
Yeah,
I
have
say
more
on behalf of the
Vandals that are
entirety of
kind
the University of Idaho, we are not at
roaming
fault here.
The lab, and Sam's there. Our beautiful team manager Hummus wearing is that a hoodie for Moscow High School? Is that their mascot, the Bears?
That is the Moscow Bears.
How interesting. I gotta say, I think this is way more eventful than I thought our first regular season game of the Go, or of our first regular season game was supposed to go. Gotta eat the Starburst with the wrapper, man. How else are you supposed to eat them? That's what I'm saying.
See, you're
bro.
doing it wrong too. You eat the wrapper, you throw away the Starburst.
Exactly. You eat just the paper. just
They're
the wrapper.
they're decorative. The wrappers were all the flavors in. What black magic was that? How did you do that?
Our production manager zoomed in the pop chat.
Look, I'm not a very smart guy.
You know, while we're sitting here, I think it might be interesting to just like go through everybody who's sitting at a table right now, or everybody who's in cam. I will literally name everybody. I think to the far left there.
Pointing doesn't help.
To the far left, I'm going from left to right.
With the blue hoodie.
With the blue hoodie, I believe that is David. To the right of him, that is Game Captain. To the right of him, who is obscured by Dom, who is walking off screen now. Well, okay.
Yo, there's production.
There.
Yeah, baby.
Now we get a fun picture a little bit later.
No, don't try that. If you try eating only the wrappers, I will hunt you down.
But to the right of David,
I will steal all your
we have
starters.
Game Captain. To the right of Game Captain is Dohyun. To the right of him is Some Cheese. I believe you guys are all familiar.
And who's
And
that?
to
Who's
the right
spazzing
of
out in the back?
Some Cheese. That's Loftek. Loftek is a very interesting fellow. He has a video on his channel from our land trip to Newburgh, Oregon, when we had our grand finals land in 2023 against.
He is not afraid to be silly.
GFU, and silly is definitely a word. I think there's something wrong with him, and he needs to get checked out for it. But
he's one of your teammates. What do you mean?
Not my teammates. I don't play on a team. I definitely don't play on the varsity team.
Look, if being a little wacky, being a little kooky was enough to get people thrown off teams, we wouldn't have any teams. We've seen everybody on here. I've seen the way you play Overwatch 2, and if that isn't goofy, I don't know what is.
Yeah, I'm also a gold player, so that might be why. But I'm not exactly sure what we're going to be doing in the meantime. I don't know if we're gonna I'm gonna call for a break.
That is not
because
a tough decide.
I think things are kind of on a standstill unless if Otta gains power again, or they're trying to relocate or trying to figure out what the situation is going to be, and then they all leave again. I wonder if
maybe they lose all of their power
twice. News 1 month ago, September, March.
I don't think you're gonna get it 5 minutes of them while they're
You
currently
would be
out of power.
surprised. What's the news page?
Check out her status.
Yeah, I gotta log in. That's how they get you.
Oh wait, we do know their zip code.
No, I don't. But I'm gonna look it up.
Who's on the other page? Who has a 9-digit zip code? That doesn't seem
No, it's the regular zip code and then the hyphen the 4. It's used for business stuff, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, it says
The white shirt with the glasses, Diabolic. I think I called Game Captain.
So
or
it
Diabolic
says there's
Game
currently
Captain.
a total of 2 customer outages, although I don't see it on the map.
I don't know. Here's the city of Ada. Well, you guys can't see it, but I'm looking at it. Pretty small city, actually. Looks like about the size of Moscow. Here's the university.
Well, to be fair,
and then you
Moscow's the second.
Actually, this looks smaller than Moscow.
To be fair, Moscow is the second biggest city in Idaho.
No, I don't think so.
Because I know Boise's
not
the biggest.
close.
What's bigger than Moscow?
Pocatello,
Oh,
Lewiston, Coeur d'Alene. I think Coeur d'Alene
Okay, you can stop flaming me so
This
hard
guy.
already. I'm sorry, I was trying to be a part of the conversation. My
Moscow?
bad. Where are you from? Idaho Falls. Really? Yeah.
This guy doesn't even know.
I'm from one of the tiniest places on the entirety of Earth. we
Whoa,
have 2 bowling alleys and 1 museum. That's it. I don't know. I haven't checked. I haven't had any free time.
0.
Is there really 0?
0.
I call BS.
Yeah,
That's
the
actually kinda
lab.
dope.
Mm-hmm. This is interesting. Yeah. History of the Pittman Center for those unaware. This used to be the Student Union building.
Where the review by outage?
This
What
is
if
coming
I
back.
just-
Biped Toaster says that this is coming back. I don't believe it.
Hey. Oh, no. I am not seeing it, and I'm starting to scroll out of Ohio.
Yo, shout out Toledo. That's all like crazy north. Shout out Akron too. I have a friend that goes to University of Akron. Well, this be like a strange callback to like really old streams where we break during situations like this and we come back just to be like, okay, stream's over, bye. Nah, just like old times. Tech pauses in the middle of stream that lasts like 20 minutes.
I saw a symbol over here, I think, but I'm just not seeing any outages. I'm seeing a bunch of homes.
Bro's
but
lying. That's so crazy.
what do you mean I'm lying?
No, the company, the map is lying.
We're literally getting gaslit by a company.
Not exactly sure what to do. It's a really interesting situation that we're in right now. Also, there's a pair of nail clippers in front of me.
I would assume those were.
Those are mine.
I would assume those were Fenrir's.
Maybe. I'll ask. I'll ask if I can use them. Probably not his toenail clippers, so I'm probably fine.
Why would you?
Mm.
Ladies and gentlemen, my co-host.
Yeah. They pay me the big bucks for a reason.
Macron beat your team in league last summer. Yeah, that was a bit of sad because if I recall correctly, you guys need one more match for playoffs. But I could be mistaken. All I remember is Hum is flashing into all the Lux.
Akron, I think, also has a very good R6 program. They're good at a couple things. I just don't remember what the things are.
Rocket League. Yeah, you're right. Rocket League.
Really?
Rocket League. They have a
Like
okay
IGCs or like
Smash-
SSLs?
They have a okay Smash team. They
Wow.
almost won CRL. Yeah,
Actually, that sounds about right. I feel like I heard about that, and there's a picture on their website about that. Look at that. They have a Corsair sponsor. Yo, power went out. We need an invite to the party. Is the party back?
Are they back?
I'm the wrong person to tell about that.
We can't. That's not up to us. We cannot set that up for you. You have to talk with the guys you guys were talking about with earlier. Yeah. We should be sending one now, is what I'm being told from the others. Are you guys okay? Because we know you guys are currently struggling. As much as the Ohio outage map is trying to gaslight us, we know you guys are struggling with the whole power outage situation.
I mean, I guess they just fixed it. Like,
Wait,
immediately.
go
I
up,
don't know.
go up a little bit. That is terrible web design. That is terrible web design.
Oh wow. I thought Overwatch is on this games list, but we don't have an Overwatch team. I think
Because Overwatch is dead.
kind of no.
Yes.
Apex is dead. Overwatch is fortunately still alive and thriving.
Not until Marvel Rivals gets added to the circuit.
It might. Marvel Rivals esports already exist, you know. They just
Yeah, but there isn't like a collegiate scene quite yet because the game hasn't been fully established.
no, but there's already a circuit that ECAC is putting on for the season.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Although right now, I mean, like from what I've seen as an Overwatch player is that Marvel Rivals has been much more popular with the casual audience of Overwatch. Because Blizzard is really bad about catering to the casual audience. They're also pretty bad about catering.
Let's fix that. Let's fix that statement. Blizzard is bad at catering.
Well, yeah, they're not a restaurant.
At anything.
You
know what? You know.
I don't know. They had WoW
RTSs?
for a while. WoW is still
WoW is
very
the only
big.
game they've cared about for like the past 15 years.
Hearthstone.
Hearthstone, they have like 4 people running it.
And it's still run better than Overwatch.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Oh,
they
boy.
don't care about the RTSs, which fine, they're old, but like we all saw what happened with Reforged. Wait a minute, are we getting into things, folks?
Yeah, we're going back into the map. Finally. We can talk about Overwatch later. Valorant
Please
is the
don't.
game that we're focused on today.
Valorant
Going
is
back
awful.
into Split. The map
Valorant,
didn't
no.
really start, so it's kind of
Overwatch.
just the start of map 2 once again.
Which I guess. Okay, this doesn't seem right. They changed the players they had. The power outage was a lie. It was all a scheme, nefarious scheme. For reals, for reals.
Well, then they would have had to coordinate a 5-man DC, which I don't know how you do that.
You just have everyone ult 4 at the same time. Because they did.
Well, you
they
can't
did
alt F4
not
in Val,
have
really.
Sky. They did not have Sky previously.
Oh, they just switched their No, they did. Yeah, they did. I was questioning.
Sky was Breach previously.
I don't think so.
I mean, I could
Because
be
they
wrong.
had the double initiator, they had the Clove, they had this. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the comp I called out. We can look at VOD. I don't think
maybe
it
eventually.
technically
We'll
would
see.
be cheating. The map didn't really do anything anyway. but-
Dohyun wins these. Dohyun wins these.
Yeah, Dohyun's sitting up in vents right now. I actually have to cast the game right now. It looks like most of ONU is trying to decide where to push. Okay,
He does not
and
win those.
everybody is in mid. Now, obviously, I could have told you that. I saw him. Y'all saw him.
5 classics are just rushing straight out towards him.
Yeah. But now, actually, the question is, where does ONU want to go from here? They can't go
They're
from
gonna go
vent,
towards
clear
B.
out A heaven, but it looks like they're just going to take mid and go up into heaven. Sumshi did make a little bit of noise, did hit that peak just to see everybody going in. And now
They're
we're going to
gonna
have that
rush
confirmed
B lane.
rotate. We're going to have everybody trying to move. And you see that dog.
Oh, unfortunate.
Okay, interesting play, but you know what? It worked.
CCK. Thank you for subscribing with Prime. We appreciate it. We won map 1, and then we had the
The power outage.
slight
that- yeah.
kerfuffle for the start of round 2 that caused a lengthy delay.
Yeah, we didn't just win map 1.
It was kind of a decimation
It was bad.
because it was 13-3.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
yeah.
already, you know, ONU is getting some rounds up. Which I think this was very similar to what happened last map. We got
First
round
2
3,
rounds,
we
yeah.
lost round 4, and we took round 5, and then we
didn't
just
stop.
absolutely snowballed. Which is crazy.
But it could. I doubt
But it
it's
could
gonna
come
run
back,
that
especially
way.
with a new
With
set
a
of
completely new
players.
yeah.
I don't know this team. This is a completely new roster for me to have to comp for. So,
Dohyun's trying to get some peaks here.
well, no, he's just shooting. He's looking for something. The dog was to bait out the trip. They know that he's in vents. You're gonna have some players coming back, and never
Private
mind.
has
Clove is gonna get a
triple already.
3K because we're staring at a Clove who is holding a
4K.
Spectre, the classic. Now, keep in mind that Clove is literally at 1 shot.
And they get the
Yo,
first
get
ace
me
of the
on this
night.
team, bro. Get me on that team. You must be. I'm just kidding. I'm being too.
Brondon just went ahead and just made sure Clove stayed alive as they ran through the team.
Yeah, Clove showing a pretty strong performance so far, finishing off the second round with an ace, but now it's third round.
Okay.
And now the odds
Where
are slightly
ONU
even.
is going to be playing for their bonus, where the Vandals are going to be playing forced up. This time, everybody's playing with a rifle, and not like last map where Dohyun was playing with a sheriff.
Dia, it is perfect. Okay, I hope lab went well. Hopefully it's nothing like my chem lab that starts at 8 o'clock at night last semester, because that was rough. That was rough. But
Have
hopefully you can
ONU
continue to enjoy the content.
Slowly working their way
Diabolic.
through short.
Diabolic pull off the streak.
Clove
Here's
getting
the
that ult orb. Heard the ult orb. Doesn't know how many more are in short, but they're just going to smoke it. For the
he's
principle of the thing.
not
You're going to
looking
see
for the right
Jed pushing that. Oh!
blind shot into the mist, taking down flames.
Looking like old Loftek. I guess a Vandal playing Omen just means that they're going to shoot someone point blank through a smoke. Because LoveTech did it multiple times last season. And
I mean, they have the ammunition to spare. It's not necessarily the most terrible
an
strategy.
immediate trade coming out. Dohyun taking out Trent and being traded out
And
by
Brondon
Brondon. So
that makes it
it's gonna
4 on
have a
3.
little bit of defensive util out of the Vandals' hands. But
The Vandals have to be careful, though. Clove has their ultimate up already. I mean, they could make it from a 4v3 to a 4v4 with extra life.
30 seconds left.
unless you time him out. It depends on how they go for this engage. But it seems like ONU is going to go for the rehit and be seeing that boombot come out, clear backside. Some cheese is lurking in dirt.
The immediate
Diabolic is
rotation by
trying to
everyone.
go
towards
through
Spike
heaven.
planted.
You're going to see EMP holding this. Verduka. Oh!
It's taken down by the Guardian
Seeing
shot.
some cheese overheat just a little. It's a good cross to have, but this is what I was talking about. Clove could very easily just time themselves out. Pretty sure their ult lasts for like 12 seconds or so.
And there we go. She did time herself out. But it might have bought them just enough time. But we will see if Brondon can be able to fulfill the rest of the time requirement.
Last player standing.
Brondon finding
And it
a
looks like he
two-guy.
was able to.
David does take them out, but EMP goes for the trade and finds a success on that bonus round for ONU. Now, definitely was a pretty sad situation. Obviously, Clove having hit that smoke, completely detrimental to their push. I feel like they should have pushed it a little bit faster.
Especially since they had the people there. They had the onus for a 4v2 and then just got wiped by Brondon.
But even then, I don't know if they knew that Brondon was gonna like
Play out of his gourd.
Yeah, I mean, he just immediately swung out and got 3, so it's some things that you kind of have to anticipate to some degree, but not always. They have Dohyun. Oh! Finding a pixel of
Nasty.
EMP's head through the smoke. And immediately getting that trade after EMP
EMP tried
found
to
the
get it down
clutch.
too.
Well, I don't think the smoke was made intentionally for that purpose. But that's something that's really interesting about Dohyun, is he's very good about finding those little
cracks.
cheese things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then just trying to press it further and further until it causes the game to go boom.
But obviously, it might take a little bit until we get there. Obviously, Dohyun, I don't think pushed up to get that gun. Is still playing with that Sheriff. Swings
that
into
was a risky
Perduka, who was
peek.
holding up into heaven.
That swing out is not something I would have advised. Okay, 1 down. 2 down. Let's go,
She's finding
Sumcheese.
2 with the Stinger. Looking like Keo out there. Wonderfully played.
Now the real question is,
That's actually really good picks for the Vandals, for sure. I'm
should be
getting
able
it
to
very late into this round here. Seeing Trent move up.
Oh,
Some cheese.
no.
30 seconds
Unfortunately,
left.
getting taken advantage of, and ONU's going to have to move kind of quickly here. About 25 seconds left on the clock. That Boombot's dead. That flash is out. Rondon
LoveTech
taking
is
out
down.
LoveTech! Taking
Oh
out David.
my Lord.
It's just Diabolic, who's moving up out of heaven while ONU gets spiked down.
Spike
in-
planted.
leaves
Oh,
10
got your
seconds,
trail.
but it's just not enough.
Cabbage for a 1v2 is very curious, especially since no one was following it. But that's fine. Brondon does
Brondon's
hear a
gonna
little bit of that
swing out.
util coming out, knows that they're up in heaven. If they go an elbow, hurt him, swings out, picks him off. That's 3 for Brondon. Another round on the board for ONU, and this new roster making it seem like a much tougher time for the Vandals, for sure. But okay, again,
I
it
think
was on
the
their eco.
strategy, I think, was first map. Because I feel like one of these teams was JV and the other one was actual varsity. I'm
Why
not
would
sure.
you do that? They're all on the ECAC
I'm
roster.
I'm just saying my theory. And the first map was to, hey, we want to make sure the JV takes part of the games, make sure that they can see what it's like to be at the level we're currently at, and we can analyze the players' behavior from that set of matches and then take that in a match.
Okay.
Now, is that
You know
the
what that
truth?
is? Weird as hell. That would be weird if it were true. Now Flames made a pretty quick entry on the site, being able to get that pick off. It looks like Diabolic. No smokes for the Vandals. Was traded out by Some Cheese and was able to leave site. London is going to commit to that plant, and the annihilation,
It's a little bit too slow.
Okay,
Oh
so
my Lord.
that's crazy. I gotta say, ONU's looking pretty strong right now. I can't say that I've seen interactions like that clean from a varsity team, or sorry, a collegiate team that we typically play against.
They're definitely pulling plays that are not orthodox.
No, I mean the team's just
we
good.
need a PC check right now. I'm joking.
I mean, did you see the way that EMP finished that off? I mean, just like literally just waited until he was locked into his crosshair perfectly. Not even we can do that often. Now Trent is gonna find one. A nade from EMP is gonna take out Lofttech, and that's actually two important players off of the Vandals, the Raze and the Tejo. The Tejo for the post plant, trying to get some flushes with the breach, and the Raze for nades for entry. It's looking a little dire for the Vandals right now. ONU is feeling pretty confident now, up 5 points still, with the Vandals having no life on the board, and still trying to make something happen. You're seeing it. ONU kind of take A from every angle. It's kind of just David alone here. Do have Diabolic coming in from sewers and Dohyun trying to hold for the flank. But since ONU has been pretty quiet, it's not exactly clear where everybody is going. David going to be taken out as ONU finds that entry. Diabolic not trying to make any moves just yet, but does see ONU go on the site.
Spike planted.
Going to allow them to get that spike down. Does have to make a little bit of noise.
Immediately ruined by the first missed shot. Can get down crowd cat owner. No, we cannot.
Oh, Dohyun whiffing every shot. And
claiming their pistols as mementos of victory.
It's going to be
It's
a rough climb. Now again, obviously the Vandals were on their eco, but it's looking like a lot of what we were seeing from ONU actually this round.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, it's looking rough. We're at round 7 right now. The last opportunity for the Vandals to make things even this half. Having dropped this round, there will be no chance for a lead in this half. I mean, the chance for a lead is already gone, but a chance for a tie is not. Obviously, the Vandals can still take a round here. Just waiting to see how things go. You're going to have EMP trying to throw out that boombot. Waiting, getting wall banged.
That Lofttech.
Well, no, that was smart. I saw the vision, kind of. Now, David and Diabolic take a couple out. Diabolic does get traded out.
2 for 2. We do have we have Breach ult and Cypher ult. David
taking out EMP. Very important. A very important fragger for ONU to have down right now. But what do you guys see? But that's Paducah Tower, or however you say it. I'm saying Paducah Tower because I'm pretty sure it's like an N somewhere, and I'm not sure where it is. Going through sewer. He was already on the rotate while the Sky was trying to stall that fight in mid. Now they're playing together now, going on to A. Heaven smoked off. They're going to be able to get that spike down, planning on the edge of elbow. Never mind.
Oh.
The Armageddon is coming out.
Sky does feel the back up.
They see the gun of Paducah Tower.
There's one down. There
Perfectly
we go.
play the Vandals, finding that force finally to finally make a little bit of presence on the board. I'm not exactly sure what was going on for the last 6 rounds, but it's a start. You know, the spark has been ignited. Now it's kind of up to the Vandals to maintain the flame.
Yep.
And I'm not exactly sure how easy that's going to be. Obviously, Lofttech is... I don't know. He has money. He got a buy. The Vandals' economy is still looking pretty bad, especially since most of them were on their force and most of them had died, obviously, last round. So, you know, there is that. It's going to be kind of hard to maintain.
Another issue is that ONU still has enough for 2 full buy rounds of failure. And that is such an enormous advantage.
Dohyun!
You weren't.
No! Oh, that's so tragic. Looking to find EMP as whatever Razor's ult is called. Raze ult goes down. We're gonna see our own Raze ult go down, and Lofttech is immediately dead. And EMP finds himself too, and Diabolic takes out Proud Can owner. Proud Can owner?
Cat.
Oh, Cat owner. Ah, I see.
Proud Cat owner.
Proud Cat owner. I don't know what that said.
Proud ad owner.
But chance for a lead is gone. Chance for a tie is gone in this half. Now the Vandals have to make things work, and we're going to see that timeout coming out from game captain.
I'm assuming they have some intricate meetings about strategy that has to be coming out here, because whatever they've been doing is clear.